What's happening, Femme House fam? It is your boy, Her Mix a Lot, co-founder of Femme House and head of culture. It is, I'm going to start over.
Yes,
I almost
please.
said African American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, which sounds like it would go hard, but for our purposes, I guess we need to be accurate. All right. What's up, Femme House fam? It is Her Mix-a-Lot, co-founder of Femme House and your head of culture. I am here with Noodles. It is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. We are giving the floor to our AAPI sisterin, brethren, theydren, and Noodles. It is a pleasure to be here with you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yo, so I want to talk to you about um, what is it called? What's the festival that you do in
Barrio.
LA? Barrio Hi-Fi.
Yes.
Tell me about so Filipino. I grew up in LA.
Yeah.
I'm born and raised in LA, and Filipino town is probably my favorite area of LA. Tell me
Hey.
about co-founding Barrio, and I know it's this coming weekend, right?
It's this weekend. Yeah, I would love to explain it to you. So this is our second year throwing our Barrio Hi-Fi Festival. It is in the historic Filipino town, and it's going to be bigger this year. Last year, we only shut down 1 block by 1 block's worth. This year, we're expanding it 2 blocks worth. So it's going to be a
Let's
little
go.
longer. We got more food vendors. Last year was about like 10 food vendors. This year, we got about 20 Filipino American food vendors. We got more artists on the roster this year, and we have two shopping markets that feature designers, artists, and people showcasing their artwork. So it's going to be really fun, and I think it's going to be bigger this year. And yeah, this is something that's super grassroots and community led. It started with the four of us. This guy Miles, who owns Family Style Fest, a Filipino rapper named Pilo from the Bay Area. I'm also from the Bay. I'm a DJ, and then my sister Stephanie Ramos, who is a very, very tapped in consultant worker with producing events. And we're so excited to bring this to life with y'all this year.
Tell me about. So I know you have your four partners. Tell me about the talent on the lineup this year. Like who are the Filipino American artists to watch right now, especially any of the
So
girlies that we can highlight.
yes, of course. Well, I'm gonna save the best for last for the girlies, but I want to go with the OGs. There's this Filipino disco group called VST and Co. I grew up listening to them because my parents like always had them playing. They're damn near like, oh sorry, I don't know if I can cuss. They're
You
like
can
the Filipino Bee Gees. So just think of,
tight.
like, yeah, they're very funky, very disco-y. You're like cha-cha sliding, line dancing to them. So we actually got him, who it's a brother-owned band, and we got the brothers to perform. So that's
That's
like our
awesome.
main headliner. And then some of the females on it is, of course, myself, So Super Sam, Bella Fiasco, one of my all-time favorite DJs from Long Beach, California. She actually has a special treat that she's featuring her dad, who plays the bass while she DJs. And I've been so inspired by her family, and like I'm just so excited to see them perform. So yes.
That's gonna be tight. What does it feel for you as a Filipino American artist? Like, how does it feel to bring something for your people to life in this way, musically, and sort of shine a light on the
I
artists
think it feels
that
like very
inspired you?
organic and authentic because like a lot of Filipinos and honestly a lot of like immigrants, like I have a lot of Mexican friends that share the same cultural backgrounds. Like a lot of my black friends are the same, like cookouts, like everything. And it's all about like community and family and making sure everyone feels comfortable. It's a safe space. And I think that's like the cool thing about bringing Barrio to life is like it's not just for Filipinos. It's like we really want to showcase our culture to other cultures, and somehow like try to collab in like other future projects or something and just learn about one another. So yeah.
Community and collaboration, right? Like the
Yeah,
the bedrocks of music, if you're doing it right.
absolutely.
Who are some artists that are inspiring you right now, either past, present, or future? Like who do you keep in rotation to keep you at your best, keep you sharp?
I'm gonna have to say SZA. I love her. And like Money Long, a lot of R&B singers. Like I feel like
An
and
R&B girly in your heart. I love to
I'm an
see it.
R&B girly at heart. You know what's actually crazy is I grew up listening to alternative rock music. It wasn't until like I started working with Kehlani that like really like opened up that jar of like getting really heavily into R&B. And like Kehlani's always going to be an inspiration to me. She's always constantly evolving. I love everything she stands for Palestine. She stands on business 10 toes deep. And I think there's a lot of women that when they are so fearless like that, it makes other women feel like they can do it too. So, I really look up to artists like that. that are
Yes,
inspiring.
for sure. Shout out to Kaylani and everything that they stand for. And I was literally just watching a video of Kaylani stand on business again for like the millionth time.
No, I'm like, you need to explain yourself, but it comes from such a pure. I love it. I love when she does it. She does it so tastefully.
What was it like being on tour with Kaylani? I know that you said you were sort of an alt rock girly, and then like this sort of opened up a whole new like can of worms, can of R&B worms, well
What's
dressed
funny is
body rolling R&B worms.
it was, oh man, I was in my early 20s. I'm 32 now. So it was such a great segue into like my music career working for someone so talented like her. Um, I think it was beautiful to be able to tour with like an all girl band. If we needed a tampon, somebody had it on deck. So it was just like really sweet, you know? And like, I really appreciated like all of our boundaries with one another. I think as females, we kind of like really value that and we're very comfortable with expressing that. So it made it a very safe zone on tour touring with all females. And like I said, it was just always inspiring all the time because, you know, you wake up, you're in the next city, one of your homegirls on the tour is just like, hey, let's take a Pilates class on a random Tuesday. And it's just like, all right, let's go, you know? So I loved it. I loved touring with her.
So what's it like? I mean, you keep mentioning like being inspired by strong women. What are you hoping with your career and your profile to inspire and the generation that's coming up after you?
I just want to be remembered as someone that really like stood on business as well and who was really here to inspire the youth. I think the youth is like my main focus. I get told all the time at my shows as like a Asian American DJ. When I first started DJing, I didn't really have females to really look up like that. So when I get told by these young Asian DJs, like they're just like, you know, I would have never picked up a controller or like invested in DJ equipment if it wasn't for you. So I feel like I just want to go down as like one of those types of DJs. Like I don't have to be the most famous one. I'm so happy with like where I am, but it's just like I just if I can just touch one girl, like that's all I care about.
That's
The
awesome.
boys,
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Each one teach one, right? And it's just like
exactly.
is if we focus on our little community, our little inner circle, just like what we can control, in that way, that's how change happens. It
Yeah.
happens incrementally.
Yes.
Tell me like sonically, like so I'm hearing you like an alt rock girly in one part of your heart, you're R&B girly in another part of your heart. You just referenced like a Filipino disco group in another part of your heart. Like what are we looking forward to sonically with your mix right now? Like
It's
what's
about the
tea?
range. I think it's about the range of my DJ sets. I always say this in interviews, but like I feel like my DJ sets are so personal. It's like you'll get a little emo, little blurb and during my hour DJ set, and then like I'll always play electronic music. Like I was a rave girly growing up, sneaking out of my parents' house when I was 16 and stuff. But and then R&B, I really just play every single genre during my set. So it's like, and I always love the corporate gigs when I get booked when it's like a 4 hour set because then I'm like, oh, I could have fun with this now. So it's like, let me play like yeah some disco records for the old folks here and like I always love testing. Yeah, you
That's
can
what's
never be
up.
too prepared, you know.
That's what's up. Tell our listeners like where can we find Noodles moving forward? Like after this set that we're gonna put on the radio and everybody's gonna be hooked. Like where do we find you next? What are your upcoming gigs? Are you dropping any music? Do you produce? Like what are all things Noodles?
So that's my number one focus this year is I am going to put out music this year. This is something completely new to me. I've always been surrounded by so many producers and my DJ community has always been so supportive about doing it. And I just think I waited a long time just because I wanted to do it tastefully right before like just putting out some content that just lives, you know, and I want to believe in myself before I put it out. So we will be looking into that. I'm starting a day party series this summer called Family Function, and it's basically gonna be me featuring a bunch of my DJ homies, and it's gonna be really fun. And we're gonna take it across the U.S. Yeah, we have like New York lined up, Nashville, Tennessee. That's actually pretty fun because I've never played there by myself.
That's cool.
San Diego, LA. So we're breaking markets now that I don't usually do. So it's gonna be really fun this summer.
You better bring it home to the Bay too. That's where I live. I'm
Yes,
in Oakland right now.
always.
Sonically, like with your production, like have you started digging in? Like what's going to be the vibes? If you have all this range with the DJ set, I can't imagine how that's going to manifest
I know.
like
I try to,
on a track.
I think Mostly, I would really want to hone into like the electronic realm. I want to do a couple house tracks. I also want to bring it back to the 90 BPM stuff, like the hyphy stuff. So I
Let's
want to work
go.
with Bay Area artists, like have that West Coast sound still that's still grounded to me because I'm like still known for that, and that's my roots. And it's just going to be a wide variety. I like to think of it as like how Skrillex does it, how he has like his hard dubstep stuff and then he brings it down to his R&B Justin Bieber stuff. So I'm looking into like sonically doing something like that.
I'm manifesting right now the lead Noodle single being a house track with Kaylani on an R&B disco vocal with Pilo on that rap bridge. Like that's what the people need.
You got it spot on. Babe, that's exactly the vibe for the first single.
That's what's
Yes.
up.
I love it. Yes.
I have one last question that I love asking people that I find interesting, and I find you very interesting. And I've been asking it for a long time, and then we were at South by Southwest, and we were talking to Amy Corbin, who's like one of the most trailblazing female promoters in music. And the question that I ask is, if you were sitting down with your younger self, what would you tell them to keep them going? And then she flipped it on me. She was the first person in years to flip it on me. She said, actually, I think I need to sit down with my younger self and have her remind me of some things that I need to not forget in my old age. And I was like, oh, dang. Now, me personally, 21-year-old Lauren would, I don't know, like that girl would be like, try not to die. You get close often. Like,
Okay.
you're having a lot of fun, but like boundaries.
Yeah.
Um, but it also sort of got me thinking, like, like what do we have to learn from our younger selves? Like, what lessons are in there? There's a lot of wisdom in being young and in being sort of like free in these ways
Yeah.
that tend to go away as you age. So answer the whole thing if you want, answer part of it, take it from
Buffering.
whatever perspective you see fit. But I'd love to hear from you about that.
Oh no. Sorry, it's buffering.
Dang, I lost her.
Oh shoot. What?
Well, shit, that was fun while it lasted. Oh, you back? You back? You almost back? Dang. Well,
Oh
I'm the
no.
Mix-a-Lot. That was Noodles. If we end up answering the question together, I'll let you know. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Peace.